Thanks for joining us today. I'm Taylor McAdams here in studio with the legendary Rodney Ammons. Rodney has a story to tell. He's a household name in the bootmaking industry with over 50 years of experience, and we're so grateful here at Tony Lama to have him as one of our product developers here. Rodney, I know your schedule's busy. Thank you for taking the time to talk with us.
Well, thanks for having me. I appreciate it.
Without a doubt. And today we're going to talk about the Tony Lama heels and the importance of those and even how to measure them. So how do you measure a heel?
Well, heels are very important, as you know, to walking, but we measure it. Here's the side seam from the top of the heel to the bottom of the heel.
So this boot in particular is a 1.5 inch.
1.5 inch, and it's a Western heel, so it has a slight pitch here.
And in Tony Lama lingo, we call it a number 4.
A number 4 heel, and this is our most popular heel in the line.
It's a great
in
Western
the Western
boot.
line,
Moving on to our next boot, we have a 1.25 inch walking heel with a spur ledge.
There again, you measure it here, 1.25 inch. It's doesn't have a pitch, it's block. It has a spur ledge here. And not just for spurs, but if you're wearing your jeans a little longer, which a lot of people do, it catches here and keeps them coming down.
Saves your jeans from dragging. And in Tony Lama lingo, we'd call this a 23.
Number 23 heel in the catalog, yes, ma'am.
Next up is a 1.18 inch walking heel with a spur ledge, so just a little bit different. Also, we would call this an H heel.
Yeah, usually this H heel usually goes with an H toe. So that's how that H came about. And there again, we measured it there, and it's 1 1/8, I believe it is.
Very nice.
And no pitch. Very stable.
Next, a lot of people will recognize this boot as a roper.
Yeah.
It's a 1 inch heel, or a 62 in the catalog in Tony Lama lingo.
Same thing, it's a 1 inch heel, measured there, a little shorter. And most of the ropers are 10 or 11 inch height. So, and no pitch. And that's sturdy. And a roper deal was when they would actually rope and jumping off a horse, they want to hit the ground and be stable. And that's very stable.
I'd say that's a pretty comfortable boot right there.
Yeah, it is comfortable.
Next up is a ladies boot. It's also a 1 1/8, but it's walking, and it's ladies with a spur ledge, and 477 is what we call that at Tony Lama.
Yeah, it's just basically the same as the other one, but in the ladies' size. And the measurements are the same, pitch is the same. There again, stable boot. And it's very popular with the women right now.
I would say you could use that for performance too.
Oh yeah, yes you could.
Up next is a buckaroo boot with a 1.5 inch heel with a spur ledge, and it's a Western heel.
Yeah, it goes with the buckaroo tall top. It has a little more pitch. It has a bigger spur ridge here. A lot of times they are wearing spurs. And this measured there again at the side seam for the height. And that's on our buckaroo line.
We only have 3 more to go, but the next one I want to talk about is a 1 1/8 inch walking heel as well with a spur ledge. It's a number 58 in Tony Lama.
Right. This is part of our all-around outsole and heel combination, and this is unique to this sole. It matches. It's very good in wet conditions and things like that. It's all TPU rubber, and as we said, it measured at the side seam, no pitch with a spur ridge. This popular. This is very comfortable. It has an insert inside it as well, so it's very comfortable.
Up next is the number 38 heel in Tony Lama lingo. It's a 2 1/8 inch heel. That's a Western heel with a nice spur ledge.
Yes. There again, part of our buckaroo line. As we said, 2 1/8 inches measured from the side seam from the top of the heel to the bottom. It has pitch here, and on this particular one, it has a little slight in-turn pitch on the inside, and the spur ridge. It fits in the saddle very good. And some people may refer to that as a riding heel. We call it a buckaroo heel, but it has different lingo for different people. But
one thing about the buckaroo boot is that it has a very tall shaft.
Yes.
What is the importance of that?
Well, this protects your leg against thorns and saddles and things like that. And generally, the buckaroo has pull holes here to grab and pull it off, because pulling on a tall top boot requires a little more pull.
You know, this boot it sounds like it was made for lots of hours in the saddle.
Oh, yes, correct.
Moving on next, we have another buckaroo boot as well. This is the number 61 in Tony Lama lingo, it's an 1.5 inch heel, western heel with a spur ledge.
Yeah, still another one of our buckaroos. This heel's not quite as high as the other one. Measured right here at the side seam. It's I believe 1.5 inch. It has a little bigger spur edge on the back. Sometimes we made them not this big. This one's bigger than most in the back, but it does let the spur set there. It does have a little bit of a pitch in the front, lower in there. It does stay in the saddle quite well though. And there again, some people refer to it as a riding heel. Some people call it a buckaroo heel. We call it a buckaroo.
And you're right, it does have a nice dramatic spur ledge.
Yeah. And as we talked about, taller top, pull holes for pulling when you pull on a tall top boot, it takes a little more oomph to get it on, so.
Without a doubt.
Yeah.
Well, thank you for taking the time to talk us through the different heel types here at Tony Lama. It's been incredible getting to hear some of the knowledge in your brain, and thanks for sharing it with us today.
My pleasure.
If you have any more questions or you'd like to learn more about the different toe shapes or heel shapes, feel free to visit our website at www.tonylama.com. Thanks for joining us, and we look forward to seeing you next time.